I'm Florian Palogon, and today we learn more about stylistic and verbal humor. So first, what is stylistic? So it is a practice of analyzing the language of literature using linguistic concept and categories with the goal of explaining how literary meaning are created by specific language choices and patterning, the linguistic foregrounding in the text. And now, what is verbal humor? Verbal humor told orally but also expressed in writing. It is something that's said or done to create amusement or laughter. Verbal humor often means by amusing story with a punchline, a humorous ending. So there are commonly stylistic devices for humor, and later on it will be discussed. So there are two key theoretical principles underpin the stylistic approach to analysis of humor. The first principle is that humor requires some form of stylistic incongruity. More narrowly, the incongruity can be engendered by any kind of stylistic twist in a pattern or language, or any situation where there is a mismatch between what is asserted and what is meant. So the second principle is that the incongruity can be situated in any layer of linguistic structure. That is to say, the humor mechanism can operate at any level of language and discourse. And as we shall seek to demonstrate in our sample analysis, it can be even play up one level of against another. Therefore, stylistic analysis of humor involves locating the incongruity and indicating whereabouts the language system it occurs.
Hi, my name is Jackie Lubunyon. So my topic for today's video is about pun. So let's define pun. A pun is a play on words centering on a word with more than one meaning or words that sounds alike. A pun is most often used for humor, but puns can also make you think differently about the subject if it changes the original meaning. So, puns comes in several types. First, we have homophonic puns. These puns use homonyms or words that have the same sound but different meaning. So, example nito is stories. So, kapag sinabi natin story, kapag ginamit natin sa sentence yung stories, pwede siyang lalabas na kwento or palapag ng isang building. So, next one is homographic puns. These puns use words spelled the same way but pronounced differently. So, ang example naman neto is bus. So, kapag mahabang bus yung pagkakasabi mo, it is referring to the sounds. Pero kapag maikli lang na bus na sabi mo, it is referring naman to a type of fish. So, next is we have compound pun. When more than one pun type appears in a same sentence, we call it as compound pun. So, next one is visual pun. This pun relies on imagery and graphics rather than phonetic writing. So, ang example nito is yung mga memes na nakikita natin sa Facebook. That is a kind of pun. So, the last one is we have recursive pun. A recursive pun requires that you understand the first element of the sentence in order to understand the second. So, for example, to understand the pun, may the fourth be with you. So, kapag may nagsabi sa'yo, may the fourth be with you, kailangan mapanood mo muna yung movie na Star Wars in order for you to relate sa sinabi ng isang tao sa iyo. Kasi kapag hindi mo napanood yon, so hindi ka makaka-relate and it will sounds like weird or parang ang corny naman ng joke na ibinigay sa iyo. So, yan ang ibig sabihin ng recursive pun. So, puns are not just a humorous, they can also make you pause and consider what you've read from a different angle, giving you a deeper appreciation for the writer's talent and grasp the language. Authors have used puns over the centuries to entertain perceptive readers and make reading more interestingly by injecting some clever or wordplay.
Good day everyone, I am Regine M. Naing and the assigned topic for me is verbal play. So let's define first what is verbal play. The term verbal play refers to the play and humorous manipulation of the element of the language. This include particularly stretching of grammatical process, pattern, repetition, parallelism, and figurative speech. It is also the creative and playful use of language to make puns, rhyme words, and tease. Verbal play is also known as verbal art and speech play. The speech types involves punning, joking, play languages, proverbs, riddles, and so on. These types used to entertain their viewers, listeners, and readers. So, documenting verbal art and speech plays has two important reasons. First is the cultural context, wherein it shows the creative way on how language used in cultural processes such as religious hymns, chants, folk songs, dances, and fables. Number two, it is linguistic insight. It is the way of the native speakers to manipulate sounds, words, to highlight certain phonological, morphological, and syntactic information about language structure.
Parody. It is also called a spoof, a send-up, a take-off, a lampoon, a play-on, or a caricature. Aristotle claimed that hegemon of Thasus found this literary genre. It is a creative work designed to imitate, comment on, and or make fun of its subject by means of ironic imitation. Oftenly, its subject is an original work or some aspect of it like the theme or the content, author, style, etc. But a parody can also be about a real-life person. Example is a politician, or event, or a movement. Just like other literary genres, parody has its own elements too. Hyperbole, which is an exaggerated statement or claim which should not taken seriously. Inversion, which makes a thing a complete opposite of it, just like an ice and fire. And lastly, trivialization, which makes something or someone less important. For parody, its main function is to make the reader laugh. In order for most writers to carry out this successfully, they base their works in some well-known and well-understood work of art, for example, the Romeo and Juliet. It is so that the readers can enjoy the comical skewering of the subject. Parody versus satire. Parody has an ironic characteristic that only aims to alter and make fun of a scene, a character, or the movie or book itself. But satire has more aggressive elements which are not necessarily present in a parody.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Dustin Lester Villasote, and I'm going to discuss to you the satire part. So what is satire? Satire is a literary device for the artful ridicule of a folly or vice as means of exposing or correcting it. Satire is both genre and a literary device that holds human nature up to criticism and scorn. It is often political in focus but does not have to be. In literature, writers use irony, humor, and exaggeration to create successful satire. There are three main types of satire, each serving a different role. The first one is Horatian satire. Horatian satire is comic and offers light social commentary. It is meant to poke fun at a person or situation in an entertaining way. Its objective is to be clever and knowing, whilst evoking humor by exposing the peculiarities of human behavior. It is merely focused on highlighting human folly in all its myriad forms, perhaps through anecdotes and characterization more so than plot. And so its chief purpose is primarily to amuse. The Onion is a popular satirical online news site that embodies Horatian satire. The second type of satire is the Juvenalian satire. When we say Juvenalian satire, it is a dark rather than comedy. It is meant to speak the truth to power. The mission of juvenile satire is often to attack individuals, government, and organizations to expose hypocrisy and moral transgression. Like for instance, if you wanted to subvert the status quo and attack the venality of the political class or religious leaders, then juvenile satire is your best bet. The last type of satire is Menippean satire. When we say Menippean satire, it casts moral judgment on a particular belief such as homophobia or racism. It can be comic and light, much like Horatian satire, although it can also be stinging as juvenile satire. As a reader, one should be recognized that the reason for amusement in Menippean satire is ultimately portrayal of a character's view, lampooning a vice connected to a specific mental drawback or an inherent personality foible. Like for example, Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland is a Menippean satire. Why? In the sense that it is Alice's curiosity which ultimately causes her life.
Alright, there you have it. I'm Arshel Velasquez, and to sum it up, let's have a short recap about all the ideas presented a while back. Starting with the stylistics, as what we've learned from our previous discussion, it is concerned with the study of style in text, focuses on rhetorical devices employed to add uniqueness not just to the writer's work but also to himself. And verbal humor is a style and a technique that writers use to evoke laughter, to amuse their readers, which we love as it's really entertaining. Our presenters also explicate 4 types of verbal humor, which are pun or punning, verbal play, parody, and satire, wherein verbal play is considered as an important component in the process of language acquisition, which from the term itself, it's playing the words, and because of this word play, writers produce pun, parody, and satire. Pun, on the other hand, is defined as a joke exploiting different possible meanings of a word. Parody is an imitation yet creative and fun style of authors wherein they mimics or imitates subject directly in exaggerating way to produce a comical effect. And last, satire. For its simplest and direct explanation, it is writer's way of using humor to expose something or someone's weaknesses or bad qualities that makes people aware and informed, and at the same time could be also a way to correct wrongdoings. That ends our topic. I hope you learned from all of us, and thank you for watching and listening. Have a great day.